Hey guys, oh my god, this is amazing. Fucking episode 7, we're so close to 10 episodes. That's too many hours of the Clip It podcast. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. It's been a good start, and I know I do apologize about not having the stream yesterday. My girlfriend came over and, I just wanted to spend some time with her. But as a little, sorry, I will be doing like an hour, 2-hour stream at 9 o'clock, so in about 3 hours time. Just to catch up with you guys, catch up on the hours, and just enjoy some games with you all. It's been a long time, or it feels like it's been a long time. It's been a week since I've done a fucking podcast, and it's fucking insane. So yeah, it's been good. Anyway, today's podcast is an exciting one because we're going to be talking about some tech related stuff, some life related stuff, and some stuff in the middle, maybe about the channel. And I did forget to say welcome to the best podcast on Twitch, the one-stop shop for OnePlus, the sponsor. Hopefully one day we may have a sponsor. I doubt it. It'd be a bit of fun. So yeah, on the other note, we're gonna be having a great podcast talking about random stuff. If you are new to the channel, leave a follow and you can ask us some questions or just leave some feedback on the podcast. If you want to talk about anything, or you want us to talk about anything, don't be afraid. Just put those questions in the comments. In the chat. Sorry, I'm so used to YouTube. We hope you like the new intro. I fucking love it. It's so much cleaner, and though the time is quite cool, I much prefer the just the aesthetic of this new one. It's probably going to be the last change for a while to the channel. I haven't changed. I'm not going to change Clip It for a long time, as these got up on YouTube, and I like the consistency and how clean they are anyway. And also I wanted to say thank you to all of you and my wonderful hosts. Because I'm very random, this was meant to be an hour later, but I'm doing something, I'm doing something in about an hour, so that's why this is going on an hour earlier. So thank you very much for coming in, and thanks my hosts for being very cooperative and helpful in making this actually a good podcast. So thank you for that. And you know what? Just because they were shouting at me, I don't know if you could hear that, but just because the rest of the coast was shouting at me, I think we should introduce them. So here we go.
That's rude.
Hello everybody, how are we all doing today?
I'm doing
Is
good.
my audio turned up loud, or was that just really loud?
That was really loud. I'm being loud today.
Okay.
That was only a 10-minute intro. I've done an 11-minute intro before without my mic even on, so shut up.
That's true.
Why are you flexing that? That's not a good thing.
Because I flex whatever I can. I want to flex how many empty bottles I have.
What a statement.
So, it's a good week. I hope you're all doing well, by the way. It feels like I haven't spoken to like half of you for God knows how long, like months.
A whole week. It's been mad.
A whole week, I know. Why, working your teeth to the bone, is that the phrase? I was thinking about this the other day, and I genuinely couldn't remember what the phrase was.
Working your teeth to the bone, as if teeth aren't bones.
What's the phrase?
I bet as well you've been really pulling the enamel off your body.
Oh, I have. Constantly.
I don't know what the phrase is. Someone tell me. So I was going to say it to my boss, and I was like, I don't know what the phrase is, so I'm not going to say it.
To your boss. He's just going to go him the next time he works and randomly blurts it out.
Honestly, but yeah, no, I
He's
hope...
gonna like awkwardly walk up to his boss like, teeth, bone. Am I right?
Pulling teeth. It's just going to sound like some sort of mafia threat.
Give me your teeth. Am I right?
Almost got a spit take right there. But yeah, no, it's good to see you all again. I don't really do streams with you. Like, I like to be honest. I did my first stream with Phelan. When was it? When did we play PlanetSide 2?
Last week?
Must have been
Thursday?
Thursday then, yeah. God, that was a long time ago.
It really wasn't, and we need to play it again. Game's
We
dope.
do, we do. I also need to play War Thunder. I haven't played that in God knows how long. But yeah, let's introduce you. As everybody already knows who you are. But above me, we've got Agent Oink, aka Alfie.
What is up, gamers? I am Agent Oink, also known as Alfie.
To his side, we've got Delicious 88
What's up?
and below that fella, we've got Salome Witch, aka Burrito Basher, aka Terabyte, aka I can't remember any of your other names now.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, aka Ethan.
AKA Burrito Basher. What's up, fellas?
Good to see you all here today. So yeah, as mentioned in the beginning, we're not sponsored by OnePlus, but I did want to talk about their new.
I wish.
I wish, yeah, I would love a OnePlus
Oh,
right now.
you missed. I think you might have been away, but he was begging for a OnePlus sponsor in the intro.
Yep.
Damn.
What's OnePlus?
OnePlus is a phone company who also
Nothing
make
about another number at
TVs.
the end.
It's they're a phone company that's quite common because of shotgun capacity listings.
Yes,
Shotguns.
Yeah.
it must be great in Wales. But yeah, no,
We don't have electricity in Wales. So.
you're actually pedaling a bike to produce it right now, just to be uncool with us.
I have you know hamster wheels. I have a really
Yeah.
big one. I just sheep in it.
Oh, I was gonna say you're just running in it, but no, that's more.
You'd think he would put in the effort to run
very
like
true.
at all.
If I could deadlift to make power, then I would, but I can't.
I could deadlift 250 kg.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bud, right?
I did promise I'd do that on stream at one point, so that people can see my back just
God.
crunch.
Yeah, I think you turned to dust.
But yeah, no, OnePlus, they recently had their new event for the OnePlus Nord. I've seen a lot about it, but I haven't actually
Yeah.
seen it or
So-
heard anything about it.
I guess a lot of people probably don't follow
Netflix.
sort of OnePlus as such, and like not that I follow OnePlus as such, but
You have a
I've had
OnePlus phone, so
for 4 or 5 years now. I got the OnePlus 6, and I got it just before the 6T released, which was a great deal because it was heavily discounted because of that. And it was just I really like OnePlus. I previously before that had a Google phone, the Nexus 6P, which is well technically a HTC partnership with Google to make it, I think. But the point is, it was Google, so it was stock Android, and honestly, I can't use any phone that isn't as close to stock Android as possible now, because God, the experience is so much better. Like seeing like Sony phones and fucking Samsung phones and like literally any other company, it's just awful. So I can definitely recommend OnePlus. So I sort of kept an eye on them for a while, but the OnePlus 7 and like 8 have been more skewed to the pro end. Like sure, they have their pro variants, but even the base models have been more sort of fancier. And the Nord is just I mean, for its price, the specs are pretty decent. And it's just a much more budget-oriented sort of phone that they've been planning for a while to, give back to the customers that are on the budget end, because there's been historically a lot of customers towards the budget end.
So yeah, so what I saw from it, I don't know what screen it is. I didn't see if it was an AMOLED screen or.
AMOLED,
It is
yeah.
AMOLED.
Oh,
yeah.
so it isn't. So the fact that it's an AMOLED and 90 hertz for the price is that just sells me straight away, because
Yeah.
Really?
That- yeah, personally,
I mean,
because
fair enough.
I mean,
because-
yeah, AMOLEDs are cool, but phones have been getting weird for me lately.
Oh,
Like,
I-
120 hertz and things are cool, but they're not something I'd look for in a phone. The same way I don't look for high RAM capacity.
I have
Well,
an
obviously I need some.
AMOLED at the moment, and I just love it because you can have always off clocks and notifications on some
Always
phones.
off display. Beautiful.
Always off clocks.
Yeah, but like you can have the clock always
It
on,
never
fuck
tells
whatever.
the time.
Yeah, but like it's just the advantage of having an AMOLED, and I
An
much
off
prefer.
clock is right 0 times a day.
As a person that has an AMOLED as well,
Right. I don't know what the fuck.
I definitely value AMOLED as the highest feature of that phone screen. And it sounds stupid, because like obviously, like for instance, there's been a lot of buzzword around hertz rates on phones lately. And I definitely think it's cool to see phones with high hertz rate displays. Like that's a cool thing from a tech standpoint.
Yeah.
But for me, what really benefits AMOLED
Buttons.
is battery life, right?
Oh,
That's to me
yeah.
easy to say, because every single app that I regularly use on my phone, apart from Discord, get on that please, Discord, has an AMOLED mode.
Discord does
So,
have an
when
AMOLED
browsing-
mode. It's just like
Does it?
hidden. Yeah.
What the fuck? Hang
Wait,
on a
you're
second,
not-
boys.
wait, where?
We hang on.
You
hang on a
need to
second.
be in Android 9.8.2 onwards.
I don't know if I am.
And
but
presumably a
yeah.
compatible screen would help.
Yeah, I have an
It's
AMOLED. obviously.
hidden. I can't remember exactly how to access it. I
How
only
do I
know
get to the
because I was
settings?
discussing
Oh,
this with
found it.
someone
Well, I
yesterday.
mean, I'm on Android 10.3.4, so
That's the
because,
one.
you
That's
know,
actually.
OnePlus,
Well, let's.
they give
Well,
me updates.
while we're talking about updates, that's the one
Yeah.
thing that's really good with OnePlus is they tend to be very close to the
I mean,
release of.
yeah, Oxygen
Android?
OS is an incredibly minimal operating system. It adds on pretty much nothing to Android, but genuinely useful things. It doesn't really try and mess with the appearance that much. It doesn't try and delete features in the background. On my phone, the OnePlus 6, it came with the OnePlus like phone and messages app pre-installed, but you can disable them, which is a thing that some phones let you install the other Google's apps as an example, but don't let you disable them or uninstall the previous ones. I can just flat remove the old ones on this, which is really nice. There's pretty much no lockdown whatsoever on the OS at all. It's just pretty much stock Android with a tiny bit tacked on the side, and I can't complain about it. Like, I would prefer to be on purely stock Android, just because I would, and that's just me having used it. But it's definitely not a bad experience in comparison to other phones that I've
Oh,
used
Alfie,
by like a long way.
I've figured out how to do it for you, my good friend.
Yeah, where is it?
Go into appearance on settings
Yeah.
and click on dark mode 10 times.
Oh, bro. Oh my god, this is fucking amazing, bro. Oh, the battery
Go,
life
bro.
saving I'm gonna have. Oh.
I don't use Discord that much, so I'm not gonna have that much of
There
a
we
battery
go. The
life saving.
podcast has actually been useful to someone.
There we
Holy
go.
shit.
What's AMOLED mode? I don't...
So basically,
AMOLED screens, basically, it's just a form of OLED screen, right? Which means that each individual pixel that is on is using power, but for blacks, they just turn the pixels off and henceforth doesn't use power. So AMOLED modes change the background colors of apps like Twitter or Reddit or Discord to be completely black, and then the text is still just like whatever color looks good, like normally just white. So all those black pixels are no longer on, which means it's no longer draining power from the battery, and it reduces battery mode. And like, you wouldn't think it makes a difference, but it genuinely makes a massive difference.
I think the best way you
It's really
can
cool.
really see this is if you ever get a chance to look at like an old this is random because my sister has one, but if you ever get a chance to look at an old iPhone, like an iPhone 6, and then compare it to an AMOLED screen, the blacks tend to be a lot darker on that AMOLED
Yeah,
screen.
the blacks are almost completely black. I
Yeah.
can barely tell the difference between the screen and the edge of my phone.
And as you said, it uses up, because like if you're using AMOLED mode on Discord on your AMOLED screen, very small portion of that screen is actually lit, so it's actually being used, while like an iPhone 6 or whatever, I don't know if iPhone actually, I don't know if their newer ones have AMOLEDs or not, but for them to have a black screen, they'll just need to produce that by keeping the LEDs on, which again uses up more battery.
Yeah.
Actually, that is a good point. Did the new iPhones have AMOLEDs? I would have thought they do, but I very much doubt it on
No,
an
they
iPhone.
use Apple Retina display things, which I don't think are AMOLED. I
Oh,
have actually no idea
wow.
what they are. To be entirely honest, a technology standpoint.
I would have thought they would have, just because it is.
No, Retina is the brand name for Apple's LCD and OLED displays, so they must have OLED on some of the higher end them.
Yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't. OLED's such an important technology on phones, in my opinion. I
Um.
think it's not that important in TV. But that's just because I don't really care about content that much, personally.
True tone display. Yeah. Okay.
I'd also say that having a high refresh rate on an AMOLED is important, because if you have a high refresh rate on, like, I don't know, just box standard, like, fucking LCD display, that's just, like, shitty. But having it on AMOLED definitely helps, because there are other ways to save power. And I definitely think if I had, like, the OnePlus Nord, like, tomorrow, if I bought it, I would definitely run it in 90 hertz for a while, see what I felt the battery life was like, and if the, you know, benefit of being able to smooth scrolly, Jesus Christ, was worth it, because I probably think it wouldn't. It's probably something that I would have off most of the time. But it's a nice to have, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's again for what, 350? Is it pounds or dollars?
379 is the starting price for the
Okay.
the specs in the UK.
That isn't too
I'm
bad.
not sure what it is elsewhere. No, it's very very reasonable. That's
Yeah.
for the 8 GB and 128 gig storage. And the 12 GB and 256 storage doesn't have a price yet.
I
'cause it is
feel
not
like
yet
8 gigabytes should
around,
be
apparently.
a minimum now for phones.
Oh, I think that's too
I
much.
don't think 8 GB. That's
Oh,
going a bit
okay,
too far.
6.
I think 4 to 6 is about right.
I don't
was
think
saying this
4.
with Alpha. I think 3 is the minimum daily usable amount. 4 is the minimum comfortable amount. And also, it depends how you use your phone. I always close an app. I don't play like intensive games on my phone. Sometimes I'll load up a word puzzle.
Personally, I'm only going from because I really wanted to go for a Pixel, but
Right.
a lot of
Pixel
the
upgrade their specs.
yeah, a lot of the problems from it was obviously small cases. It was I don't know how big it actually was, but it wasn't like that bad that every single phone had it. But it still put me off the fact that it's only got 4 gigabytes and that can cause like just running issues like crashing constantly or apps freezing up and all that. Which is what kind of threw me off.
And I think you'd have to be running like like games and things. For
I
that
mean,
sort of thing. Unless I don't.
I don't think so. Because to be clear, right, my average memory usage across the entire how far back can it go? 3 days of my
6
phone
years.
is 4.5 gigabytes out of 8 gigabytes. And granted, that is probably partly because I am used to having a OnePlus phone with 8 gigabytes of
Yeah,
RAM.
I suppose that's
Where like apps like Discord, Twitter, like news, things like that, I just leave open, and to get to them, I just hit the button and then scroll. Like I'm going to Discord now, I'm going to Chrome now, and then anything else I open up. I definitely don't run any games or anything like that regularly. I don't think I fucking hate mobile games, just they're all shit. But I don't know. I think it's a nice feature that changes how you use a phone. It makes the experience a lot quicker. Because like there's never a point where I have to like worry about like, oh, I gotta open this app and it takes a while or whatever. It's not what happens that often, but it's just instant.
Trying to find my.
I found
it's in developer options under memory.
And so I was looking like a week ago and couldn't find it for some reason. Found it now, so that's cool. I can only look over the average use of a day, but 2.5 gigabytes is my.
I'm having trouble finding developer.
And I have 3 gigabytes as it turns out. So. Yeah.
I know I have.
And like, I close apps as soon as I back out of them, I close.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the exact same.
I mean, I do if I know I'm not going to be using it again. It really depends on the situation. Like if I'm just putting my phone down on the side of my desk now, and I know I might be opening up for Twitter in a second, I'll leave Twitter running. But if I'm putting my phone down, I know I'm going to be on my PC for the next 4 hours. I would close everything. But I do that. But again, I do that by hitting the button and then hitting the button that just closes everything that's open.
Why am I having trouble?
Because I just either have shit open or it's closed.
I don't think I have that button. Cool.
Yeah, it's a really nice button.
So, what about you? What phone do you have actually?
I have an iPhone 4S because I got Flappy Bird on it and I didn't delete it. I didn't want to upgrade because I didn't want to get rid of it. It's sort of a relic.
That's kind of like fair.
And then Flappy Bird came back, so.
Wait, I can.
Yeah, but I got the original, bro.
Wait.
Yeah, you certainly do. I can't even remember why the developer took it down temporarily.
Because he was getting death threats.
I knew it was something stupid. Clearly, it was very major. Because he put it back up like what, a month later? Not even.
Oh, I thought it was because he was making too much money, which he just didn't see as right. That's what I.
I doubt it was that. No offense to him, but I doubt anyone's gone. Well, this app's making too much money. Shut it down. There was some guy who just had an app for Apple phones that tested how high you can throw your phone, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, that was taken down.
Oh.
Encouraging people to throw their iPhones.
Yeah, that's great fun.
Maybe Apple could make phones that don't just break it constantly then.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, this is a genuine thing. You know,
phone, it still hasn't got a single scratch, let alone cracking the screen.
I haven't.
I rarely drop it.
I say how much. Like, I haven't dropped it that much, but I've dropped it on what I'd call, like, occasions, like maybe 3 times. Once was quite high onto concrete and tarmac. It fell down some stairs. Nothing. Once was basically off out of my pocket onto concrete. Nothing. And the second was basically onto like a ledge, and it like hit the screen right on the like corner of ledge into the screen. Still nothing.
I haven't ever had an issue. Okay, I've never had an issue with phones apart from my Sony Xperia, which was a great story in college. I don't know if Alfie actually remembers that or not.
Yeah.
But that's the only other time I've really smashed a screen. I've broken screens, but not like smashed them, which is really weird to say. Like, I've broken them where they don't want to work on the corners, but the actual screen is not cracked in any way, shape, or form, and the middle still works. But I tend to be good when it comes to not dropping my phone unless it's a Sony. So
Yeah, some phones don't have a really slippy body, and it's really fucking annoying,
oh,
actually.
that's the one thing I like about OnePlus and the phone I've got Oppo is they come with cases, which is really useful. Because they are not actually half bad cases.
I don't know if the new ones do.
I know the OnePlus 7 does.
I thought it didn't.
I thought it did. I could be wrong, but I thought it did. Someone's going to have to correct us. If anybody has a
Wait,
OnePlus 8...
What the hell's this surprise gift shit?
What?
On the purchase page for OnePlus Nord, you get to select a surprise gift, and there's flagship camera for 0, 90Hz AMOLED display for 0, Warp Charge 30T for 0, Oxygen OS for 0, and 5G ready for 0, which are all obviously just features of the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, like, do you pick what? It's like each one of those like actually like an item that they'll like throw in with it, and you just have to like figure out what it is, and it's just like a funny thing. But
I've got a genuine question.
I think it's just a funny thing to be like, oh, we have all these features, but we're gonna pretend that we're gonna like package them up as our own little.
How do we feel about what's happening with Huawei and their 5G like connections being basically cut? From what I heard, I don't know actually back like the actual stories, but
5G causes communism.
the basic summary is that
Basically.
Huawei possibly has two worrying ties to the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, and is possibly feeding data back from 5G systems that they have to the CCP. But it's kind of all up in the air.
yeah.
A lot of stuff has been researched in America, and then when questioned about it, Trump just sort of goes, "Well, that is confidential," and doesn't really talk about it. So it's been hard for everyone.
Oh, what up, Redstone?
But I kind of just
That's
don't
his
care, to
accent.
be entirely honest, because I don't have a 5G phone. I use phone networks maybe like once a month.
Yeah.
It's just so irrelevant to me.
Especially
I'm on a
in
VPN
current
anyway,
times.
right? Like, it's just not. I just kind of don't care. Like, sure, CCP can see me googling for directions for something. Oh wait, they can because I'm on a VPN. Okay, never mind. Like, it just doesn't matter.
I feel like I'm the only one here
me,
who actually
personally.
uses 5G on a daily basis.
Maybe.
I use it every day
I
I'm
don't
at
have
work.
the capability for it. I know that for sure.
You have 5G at your work?
Okay, no, okay. I don't. Okay, I have 5G on my phone. I use 4G or I use mobile data constantly
That
at work.
sounds very much like you're not using 5G, bro.
Yeah, there's no 5G down here, but I just have a 5G phone. Fuck it. But I use my mobile data every time I go down to my girlfriend's because she has shockingly bad internet. Mainly because it's Sky. I also use it.
Yeah, that's why.
I use it whenever I'm out of the house, basically, consistently. Maybe because I've got 30 gigs of data. Maybe because I need my internet. I don't know, but what's the podcast about? It's about It's just about random stuff at the moment. We're talking about the OnePlus Nord at the moment. But we're going to be talking about random other stuff soon as well. You know, just having a bit of fun.
Yeah, I just don't use my phone when I leave the house, really.
No, the main time I use my phone is when I'm in bed to watch videos.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
my main
I used
scenario.
to do that, but now I do that on my Switch because it's a better screen.
Yes.
I used to do that with my PS Vita, actually.
And it's kind of like, honestly, I really don't use my phone anymore. Like, if I was using a phone regularly, I would consider the OnePlus Nord as like a go-to upgrade. But it's like I touch my phone so little, man. Like, it's just pointless. Like, I leave the house, and the only time I use my phone is paying for things because I like to do that. And like, if someone messages me or I'm like meeting up with someone, you know, I just send like 5 messages in total, both ways. Like, I was trying to figure out where to meet up, and then that's that, right? Like, I just don't touch
It
it.
should be that simple trying to meet up, shouldn't
Yeah.
it?
Okay, I don't know what Android's new.
I mean, I have like, what is it, 2 gigabytes of data? So if that summarizes my data usage, and
Oh
I'm
yeah, a
with
little bit less than I do then.
I'm with a carrier that means you only pay for the data you use, and the past month I've used like 200 meg of data. So, I mean, granted that's been in lockdown, but I mean it's also about power. It'd normally be anyway.
Yeah, I'd say my contract was cool and all when I like got the bus and things, but that's just sort of not really a thing I do anymore since I don't go anywhere regularly that requires the bus. And then obviously current situation happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it, Redstone. Yeah, I guess I literally bought the. I really wish I got the OnePlus 7 instead of the one I currently got. But I don't have any regrets anyway for this one. It's a good phone.
Like, my experience with Android really has been like, stock Android is such a fluid and nice experience because there's just absolutely nothing in your way. There's so many small things you don't even realize in other operating systems. Like, sure, you know, Samsung's got better in their OS, but there's so many small things like rearranging the settings or removing certain settings from being accessible and just shit like that that once you've used stock Android really piss you off. And I can't recommend the Google Pixel phone these days because they just don't have the specs, in my opinion, to justify it. Like, their cameras are great, sure, everything else is awful. So it's like, well, why bother? I would much rather get a decent phone and a slightly worse camera because at the end of the day, you're still going to be better off with an actual camera. And no phone camera these days is bad. Even like the cheap Chinese ones, it's still amazing to have that high resolution camera in your pocket. So I don't know. I can definitely recommend OnePlus to anyone's ever considering them. Not to sound like a marketing thing, but like genuinely, I've had a good experience with the company, good experience with their software.
Yeah, not sound like marketing, but if you want to sponsor us, then we
But if
will
OnePlus
be.
does want to sponsor us, that'd be awesome.
I would totally advertise your phone everywhere. I would always hold it out. I'd be like, "Yeah, how you doing? By the way, I have a OnePlus. Got it free. Yeah, if you got an iPhone, I recommend the OnePlus. Got it for free.
People definitely wear a OnePlus t-shirt. That's a thing we.
I totally would. I'd wear my t-shirt. I wear my t-shirt around town, honestly. Which, if you want to go and buy, you can check out Designed by Humans. Great website. Anyway.
Jesus, Charles.
Also, if you want to donate, and it's down there. Yeah, no. So
if you want to donate to me and fund my addictions, then hit me up.
Fund my addictions of streaming. So yeah, we've spoken about OnePlus and we've spoken about what we think about it. Kind of going off. Well, actually, before we go into this, is there anything you guys want to talk about? about like
transition
about OnePlus or about
Yes. What's the word, Charles?
What's the other option?
Yeah.
About.
Should we call an ambulance?
Suspense is killing me. Oh my god.
No, okay. For context, I was doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, oh, that's what's happened.
What are you doing?
What is going on, bro?
He's seeing things.
That really messed with me. Okay, for context, I do apologize. All of a sudden, and I have no idea what happened, but I was just doing my shit, talking to you guys, and then all of a sudden, Steam opened up out of nowhere, and then went into big picture mode. Turns out,
and my that caused Charles to freeze up for half a minute.
Because I had I thought someone was on my computer. Then I remembered what happened. Then I realised what happened, and this is going to be even better. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I connected my controller to my PC. My sister's taking it back to go on her PlayStation. She's obviously pressed the on button on the controller. It's connected to my computer, and it went into big picture mode on Steam.
Gosh.
Oh, that really messed with me. So I was like, what the fuck's happening? Anyway, good to see you, Corporal.
One thing to speak about then, I guess, because you seem to want me to, while you deal with big picture, There's another feature that I believe every OnePlus phone has had, at least since mine, because I obviously didn't own the ones before this, and I can't bother to fact check. Is the proximity sensor, and it sounds really stupid to like rave about something as simple as a proximity sensor on the front of your phone, but it is actually amazing because what it does is basically when the proximity sensor gets covered, it realizes that your phone's like say in a pocket, right?
Oh yeah.
And stops the touchscreen from being interactable. But if you still, if it's covered for some, other reason, there's a sort of, you can click the things in certain points on the screen in the correct order, and then it will unlock and let the touchscreen work. So it doesn't stop it from working completely. What's really nice about it is apps like YouTube, where I can listen to the app with my phone closed, right? I have to have the app open and my phone activated. I can just shove that in my pocket, have my headphones on, and it'll just be playing for YouTube. I know for a fact there's nothing going to touch anything on the screen because the touchscreen's disabled, and the phone will just stay on because it knows that's what I'm doing. I'm watching a video.
Oh yeah.
And it's really damn useful because I don't have to worry about the fact that YouTube is annoying to work with as an app.
I might have to
I do
try
it quite a
that.
lot when I'm cooking or going out somewhere and I just want to listen to YouTube. I just open YouTube, stick it in a pocket, and go because battery life is decent.
That's actually something I need to test with my phone. And another thing I just want to try with my phone one day, because I never understood how it's done it. I need to really look into it. But that's really useful because especially if you have the always-on clock. If you put it in your pocket or something like that, it will just turn off because it knows it's in a pocket. But the one thing I don't understand with my phone is the fact that it has the shark fin on it, meaning it has no bezel, it has no nothing. So the camera's inside and it comes out with a little shark fin. Let me demonstrate this for some reason I haven't seen this phone. Has a little bezel there. So on most cameras, on most phones where they have the bezel, you would have a sensor next to that phone or whatnot, and that's where you get all the light data and sensoring. Mine doesn't, and it has as most phones does, it has an auto brightness on it, which doesn't work for that reason. Because it's never consistent. I go outside and it puts it at the lowest brightness possible, which just makes it impossible to see. And then I come in and it's like, yeah, we're not going to change it. But the sensoring works fine. I put it in my pocket, it turns off. It's really weird.
If you weren't aware, Phelan has had to yeet for some unexplainable reason, which has broken the icons. So that's epic.
Oh shit! Again, because I got Discord stream, I didn't hear him leave.
Oh,
He's back.
Yes. I like this.
I
idea.
like what he's doing, so I'll turn him as offline. Wait. Yeah, I the thing is, the next topic I wanted to talk about is kind of, I don't know if I want to talk about it for that reason, and that's because it's about the channel. Like, what would you guys like to see going on next? And and thanks, by the way, Delicious, and enjoy your meal. And one of the things I can't wait for, and Alfie's really the only one who knows about it because he is the only one who has one, is I'm working on my new sound. I wouldn't say sound quality, it's more sound production. Because I'm thinking of getting an actual interface, which is great fun when I do my research, because all the websites are like, yeah, it's not coming till October or November, and then there's this one website that's like, yeah, it's coming in 6 days. I check it the next day, it's coming in 2 weeks. Okay. Apparently they're all sold out. I don't know how or I don't know what people are getting numbers from, but yeah, it's something I'm excited for, because I am a perfectionist, as you all know, and constantly work on my stuff. I rearranged my desk the other day because I got bored. Well, that was Sunday actually. I got bored and I wanted to do something, so I spent 2 hours rearranging my desk for that. That's why the camera's different. But
Fair enough.
They're making only making 10 million PS5s. Yeah, I heard rumors that they could potentially only sell it so it's like one per household. Which, again,
they're really rationing PS5s.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Is a bit weird, but I can kind of understand it. It's I would say it's a very small percentage of. Oh no, it's not that. I'd say it's a smaller percentage of families having more than one console in their house, or one of the same console in their house. I'd say, if anything, if people have more than one console, it tends to be a PlayStation and an Xbox, or a PlayStation and a PC, or a PlayStation and a Switch, or a Switch and an Xbox. It very rarely, unless you got two avid gamers in the house, tends to be the same console. So I don't think it would be too much issue.
3 or 4 PS3s in my house.
Yeah. Okay. Again, avid gamer.
I am a gamer.
But I don't know. It makes, I can understand, especially in this time, if they want to try and get the console out at a certain date, because of what's happened with the world. There's going to be limitations. Look at the Switch, for example, or look at anything technology. To be completely honest, it's all going a bit kaplunk. Trying to buy anything fucking ridiculous these days. So, or anything technology wise, I have to go second hand or just wait. And I give them fair due. Again, at least they're being honest about this. I don't know if these are official numbers, but we haven't really heard much from what I can see. They haven't really heard much about Xbox and what they're doing, if they're having any limitations or not. So,
Xbox have been pretty quiet about the sort of production side.
My favourite thing Phil Spencer said was the fact that the console isn't about. It isn't. They're not trying to advertise the console. They're trying to advertise the games or something like that. Which,
yeah, a bit weird.
Yeah. Great one, head of
Sounds
Xbox
like
or whatever.
just giving free marketing to Sony, because everyone's going to have a PS5 and then they're going to go, oh cool, Xbox have just released this really awesome new game for X game, and then go buy it on their PS5.
Yeah. So, well, they weren't only doing 6 million, but due to COVID-19, they put it up to 10 million. Oh, okay. Interesting. How many did the PlayStation 4 sell? I can't actually remember. I want to say it was in the 100 million. Again, we spoke about this last time. Xbox, the PlayStation 5, we had a huge discussion on it. I really wish you were there, to be honest, Alfie, because we're talking about its SSD, like it compared to the Xbox. And I was going on your point of that's why and now you kind of convinced me on that's why the PlayStation, especially if pricing goes the way of the PlayStation, could be the better console, because graphics are already to a point, especially on consoles now, that they are amazing. Load times, I feel like, would be a better seller.
Yeah, I feel like SSDs, or the PlayStation SSD having, direct access and not instant, but exceptionally high speed ability to load the map just live is a bigger thing than any other spec. Because there's always that sort of gamer dream. I don't know if you had when you were a kid playing things like RPGs and such, like Oblivion and Morrowind and that. You just want like more map, more detail, the ability to go anywhere, do anything, and that's kind of what that technology enables, right? Like everything can just be as detailed as possible, because as long as you have the storage space for it, there's no bottleneck in the loading time. You don't have to worry about, oh, is this scene going to be too complex and we're going to need a loading screen? There's just none of that.
Yeah. By the way, the fact that they're apparently only selling 10 million is very interesting. When the PlayStation 4 sold 110 million. What really surprised me, though, is it was estimated that the Xbox One only sold 50 million. I didn't know it was actually that bad compared to the PlayStation. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, again, the Xbox has been very, very quiet when it comes to production. To be fair, it's been very quiet when it comes to games for the Xbox, if I'm not wrong. A game that's getting announced soon is Halo Infinite, which would be interesting. But they've just been very quiet, maybe because they want to do a surprise, maybe because they're just letting PlayStation hype go over, and then they'll be like, yo, we're releasing tomorrow. Who knows? But it's a war that doesn't really matter anymore. They're both consoles, they're both great consoles out there. It's I feel like one of the biggest differences that a lot of people will say is the controller. And that tends to, like I hate the Xbox controller personally. I just don't like the analog sticks. So a lot of I'd say a huge majority of people much prefer it.
Cannot use a PlayStation controller. Like I actually cannot game on a PlayStation controller. It causes hand cramps and agonizing pain. I cannot do it. If I owned a PlayStation, I would literally use an Xbox controller. I don't care how much work that took. If I had to buy a fucking Raspberry Pi and plug it into it to emulate the PlayStation, I would do it.
But then, didn't SteelSeries make a controller that you can switch the analog stick in the
I believe
D-pad?
so, yeah.
But like someone recently revealed, did a live stream with the new PlayStation controller. It's around the same size as the Xbox controller now. So seeing him holding it just looks really odd. Like looks wise, like the promotional pictures don't make it look that bad. but when you just hold it, it's like it's this really disformed thing. I don't like it, honestly. The size is much better because I have big hands, but
Yeah.
knowing that controller is probably going to cost about 60 quid if you need a new one.
The main thing I want to take away from the new console generation is if direct access storage is used by developers enough on the PlayStation to really give it a lead. Like, I don't care whether PlayStation or Xbox sells more. I just don't. It's not relevant to me. But if if it really gives gamers, for lack of a better word, that sort of sense of like, wow, this is really cool. Like the way everyone can just load in like that is really awesome. And it becomes a thing. I would really like to see a change in PC architecture that would allow for direct attached storage to become a standard in PC architecture. So in the future, building a computer might be, in terms of you, rather than having like your operating system SSD, as like something that you'd want fast. You'd have your operating system SSD as something you want fast. Probably over like M.2 or whatever. But then you'd also have like a direct attached SSD that you'd have for games, and you could just pop that on, and that would be really quite nice actually.
It would be quite cool. And like
having that on PC would be awesome.
Like, now that I think about it, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes, because there's something you brought up. The games that are going to have the fastest load times are going to be PlayStation exclusives, most likely, because they have that architecture and they don't have to worry about how they store the game, because they're not going to have to put it on any other console anytime soon, at least. So, now that I think about it, if it is a much of an advantage, it's going to be weird for games like Call of Duty or like shooters where loading in gives you an advantage sort of idea, because then it depends. It's going to be interesting to see the comparison, honestly. Maybe that's why Xbox are being quiet, who knows, but it would be interesting to just see load times between the same game, if there's actually much of a difference, for like AAA games. But then obviously Sony exclusives are going to have a much better advantage.
Yeah, it depends on how people architecture it, because they could just deploy the same game between Sony and Xbox, and there'd be a lot of loading screens that might be necessary on Xbox that wouldn't necessarily be necessary on on PlayStation. But it's also, they could refactor the game for PlayStation, or they could do PlayStation exclusives and then just have it not compatible with Xbox.
Oh, that's
it really depends how people go about it.
That's the thing. Is like they always every other game they always do different exclusivities. So Call of Duty would always go PlayStation 1 year, Xbox the next, and then give them early access for those users. Will they do that with the memory? Will they be like, oh, it's good, we got an exclusive contract with PlayStation this year, that means we're going to have faster loading times, because they're going to, with the not defragging, fuck it, but how they architecture it. Obviously, it's going to be better on the PlayStation than the Xbox. It'll be interesting. Who knows, really? We've still got a long way to go for it. Not that long. November, if I'm not wrong, for PlayStation.
At some point later this
Be honest,
year,
their reveal trailer, their reveal stream was like, it was good, but it literally gave us no information. Here's the PlayStation. How much is it? We're not going to tell you. When's it coming out? We don't know.
Yeah, honestly, gamers have kind of been like, I feel like there was a push towards both PlayStation and Xbox over like the past year to be like, hey, we want to know what's coming next, and both of them, I think, for quite a long time have just been sort of slowly developing the next generation, because they can just kind of ride the wave of the previous generation. Keep releasing new versions like the Pro and the S and X and that. And honestly, I really feel like they kind of just got rushed into releasing information, and they weren't really ready to. And I don't even know if we'll like see them for quite some time yet. But I don't really care.
That's one thing I did think about. And I've only just come over my head, and it kind of did surprise me Xbox didn't say anything about the fact that they probably do have a digital version, but they just haven't said anything about it. Because the only one they've talked about is one that, if I'm not wrong, just has a disc in it. I don't know if they have spoken about a digital only version, but PlayStation certainly did.
I don't think so. I'm not fully aware.
Also, their naming scheme is horrific.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Like, Xbox, what was it? Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One Scorpio or whatever, and then Xbox Series X. Doesn't help in any way, shape or form. But I don't know, and it's going to be fun. It's just, as a PC gamer, it's going to be interesting to see how they go, what they do.
Yeah.
All that. It's just fun looking from the outside, and as you said, hopefully it will change the way PCs are, or like it will help PCs develop into, obviously better devices or better gaming devices. They are the ultimate one, but there's still stuff that can be changed, as the PlayStation has proven with hopefully will proven with the
DirectX.
Yeah.
SSD.
So more storage without compromise. That's the thing I don't like about the new Xbox, is the fact that like it's cool, but they've literally brought back old, like saving old memory sticks.
Have I?
Yeah, like the SSDs you have are, from what I can see, proprietary ones that you have to buy from Xbox. There will be third-party ones, obviously, but it just plugs in the back like an old memory stick. Let me send you an image if I can get this image.
Isn't that how it already was for consoles?
No, the PlayStation had it so you could. I'm gonna send the right image. Yes, there you go. So that's apparently how the Xbox one does it. Just like proprietary Xbox SSDs, which literally look like old PlayStation 2 memory sticks. But no, the PlayStation 4 you could just plug in a normal PC hard drive into it if you wanted to.
Okay, that's cool.
So, like, that's really nice about the PlayStation, is the fact that you could use PC hardware on it, which is a lot cheaper, because who knows how much those SSDs are going to cost.
Yeah.
That's my way. It's the fact that it's because it's proprietary and there will be third-party ones later on. They're going to be slightly more expensive because they're the only ones you can get. They're obviously going to ramp the price up slightly because they're going to want to make money off it, especially if the consoles don't sell. That's something we're going to see. If the Xbox just doesn't sell, the console, the price of memory sticks and the price of other accessories is just going to go way up. The other thing, and this is again, it's the last thing I want to speak about before we really go on this topic, because I've spoken too much about it. Is the fact that the Xbox One was like, oh, this is the all-in-one console. We've got so much, like, we're a multimedia device.
Very much, yeah.
This generation, the Xbox have been like, yeah, we're a proper PC gaming console. That's basically, it's like, this is like a PC tower. Play games at the best graphics and 60 FPS. Well, PlayStation have gone kind of more on this, we're the best console, but we're also a multimedia device. Here's a controller, here's also some headsets, and a remote control. Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
It's weird.
It's nice that
really
come out.
know, like, what the Xbox is going to be in terms of its like form factor and whether it have. Like,
I don't like its size. Oh, its shape.
Size could be deliberate choice for upgradability, and that's what I don't know. Because like with the name, it really does feel like they're not gonna like want to release a second generation or like even a different version. So I kind of reckon you might be able to swap in and out GPUs and shit.
Looking at it, the GPU is a custom GPU, so it'll probably be, if you can, proprietary from Xbox or maybe third parties down the line. It probably won't be like, hey, here's a GTX 2070 that you bought from Gigabyte, put it in. From what I can see, it probably won't be like that. And if they're doing that with with the storage, I don't see them not doing it with anything else. It'll probably be like a chip that you put in. Also, looking at these release pictures, there's physically nowhere you can put a GPU from what I can see. Actually, that doesn't look like it's in the right place though. So I don't know, but like looking at it, their GPU is very much custom. The motherboard has no. Again, it's very weird. Yeah. True 4K. Okay, cool. And the fact that they're both being like, especially when they first came out, like, here's our dedicated GPU. I don't think they're going to allow you to change it, because they've been very, very big and prolific on, this is the GPU we're using, this is how much power it's got, and this is the exact like what it is. I don't think they'll be like, okay, you can take it out and put a new one, because that seems like that's one of the big Xbox things. And again, look at these pictures, it just looks like you can't really do shit to it apart from plug in. And like looking at that image, that's if that's how much sticks out, that's a stupid idea. That's gonna get easily knocked around, and it's at the back. a lot of people put their console against the wall.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I just don't use consoles. Like,
No, I don't.
I haven't used consoles in
Like,
so long.
Looking at these two, they look like they're going backwards in design. Like the PlayStation just won't fit anywhere. I like the PlayStation 4 because you can stack it and look
looks
quite
ugly
nice.
as shit as well.
Yeah, the
Like, look,
PlayStation
sure,
5
I
is
like its
awful.
technological advancements with DirectX storage, but I absolutely despise how it looks. It looks horrible.
Yeah. The fact that the thing with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 is they were really easily stackable when you could put them in a corner and it was out of the way. It was a very nice design. Granted, the PlayStation 4 did have a slanted design, but I kind of liked the look of that, and the fact that you could stack it quite nicely, you know, gave it some sort of cool, sleek, different look. But this new one is just an odd, random shape that looks like a router. So I don't know what's going on. It would just be interesting to see what happens, though. If I can ever get my hands on one, I'll definitely try it if I can. Just be interesting to see sales numbers. But
Yeah, will be.
I didn't know if we wanted to go into this last, or it's not last topic, but like this topic, because it might be a bit boring, and we've got a lot into this sort of stuff. But you know, fuck it, let's not. I want to ask you, Ethan, what have you been up to recently? What sort of games have you been playing, Sam?
I haven't really been playing many games, but I have been getting into buying stocks and shit.
I saw that.
God.
How's that going for you?
I have currently lost
Oh, no.
6p,
Oh, okay.
but I put in like 15 quid.
I've only done stocks once, and I've gained a tenner off it.
Done.
Oh yeah.
And that's not even proper stocks. It was football player stocks.
Good God.
And the context, I literally, like, you have to put a minimum of 10 on it. I put a 10 on it, like, put it all into a couple players, left it because I couldn't be fucked, and I was like, oh, I've lost my money. Came back to it, and I got like an extra 10 off it. I was like, oh, cool, I'll sell those, take the 10 out, and put more money into other stocks. Because, you know, why not? But, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
interesting. That's how you do stocks, fam. I saw you were playing, what was it? Is it World of Warcraft? No,
World of War, Call of Duty.
There you
World
go.
of War.
There you go. How's that going? I heard that. What was that Matt Payne was talking about with the big guy running around or whatever? Thomas the Tank Engine or whatever the fuck it was.
What? Oh, Pokemon.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Oh, there's a Pokemon map where all the zombies are kind of changed to different Pokemon.
Okay.
And it's really goofy.
It does sound like quite a bit of fun.
There's also one that we play with that's just a Monopoly board.
What?
Monopoly board. You just run around a Monopoly board. It's really weird.
Xbox CPU is completely custom. Both of them are, by the way. I just wanted to say. Oh wait, is that for the Xbox or PlayStation? Because I remember someone saying something about that. You can pause a game and go into another. Like you can pause a game and open another game, which I never understood.
I think that's an Xbox thing.
Yeah, I don't understand why you would want to do that. Again, like the phone, I tend to close my apps when I've done with them because you know they're done with, unless I'm obviously like a Messenger, Snapchat, whatever. But like as soon as if I'm playing one game, I close that game and then go into the next one. I do apologize, Ethan, by the way.
That's right.
I just saw these messages, but yeah, okay. So your SSD was, by the way, $900. Fuck me, how much money do you have to spare? My computer's like $900, roughly.
Oh, over time, yeah.
Oh, my CPU is 200. Motherboard's about 100. GPU 400. RAM was 200. Oh, 100. Yeah, about 900. That's easy maths. So your computer's roughly $3,000. Fuck me. And but yeah, no, the Xbox, I don't know. I never understood that. It's like just close the game. You don't go on a PC and then you open up Call of Duty and then you open up fucking Day of Defeat. No, not Day of Defeat. Dead by Daylight. Because it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand why people do that.
I know some people won't.
I
suppose if you like, if you think of like a family situation though, because like if you're sat on like a sofa with your family, and you're playing a game, and then like you swap off, and it's like changes over to your sibling or whatever, you can like leave your game running, and they can start playing their game for a bit, and then you can swap back to it without having to launch the game. But to be entirely honest, I don't see that being particularly useful, because is it really that inconvenient to wait like 10 seconds for the game to open?
No, I was gonna say maybe that's where Xbox are doing that, because their their loading times are shit. So it's like, yeah, don't worry, you don't have to close the game, because we know it's gonna take a minute to load. While PlayStation's like, yeah, it takes 2 seconds, mate. Just shut the game down, okay? Because it takes literally a second to launch. Just no need to hold, no need to use up more resources to play other games while that one's open. Anyway, you were saying about Pokemon. Fucking, I hope Charmander's on there, because if he isn't, no, Pokemon.
Of course, Charmander's on there.
Pokemon runs around.
What?
Dude, Pokemon funny female.
Quite like Pokemon. I don't know, I've watched the content.
I've watched like 1 or 2 of her streams because of funny moments.
See?
Yeah,
Funny,
that's understandable.
funny female.
Okay.
I don't really watch clips anymore.
I don't watch Twitch anymore. I do apologize. I may need to go soonish, so I'm gonna go on to like.
Wow.
Oh, like we're just gonna go on to our last topic.
Today.
I know. We're gonna go on to like a last-ish topic. Oh, you know what I forgot to do today as well, and it's really pissed me off.
Oh god.
Record the stream so I don't have to download it.
Oh.
Well, that's extra 10 minutes for me to do. God damn it. Anyway, yeah, we're going to like. Is there anything you just want to finish off the stream on? Any of you, just to chat about anything like? Have we heard anything more about the 3080 or 30 series graphics cards?
Yeah, I saw a screenshot by one of the
Linus Tech Tips.
Linus Tech Tips folk, and I think it's from a leak or something. I'm not sure exactly what the source is, but basically it said that there is going to be use of the Tensor cores on Ampere GPUs as compression chips, so they can decompress items stored in VRAM, which means that you can compress it in VRAM a lot more, which should shave about 20 to 40% off VRAM usage, which is pretty exciting.
Okay.
RTX Voice will be getting an upgrade as part of a software merge between GeForce Experience and GeForce Now. NVENC now allows for 8K 60 encoding with H.264 and H.265.
That's pretty cool.
And it will have CUDA 11 support. Then there's this new thing called NVCache, which is basically NVIDIA's answer to the HBCC RAM that you get on AMD systems these days. It leverages both your DDR and SSD for enhanced load times, and VRAM can dynamically utilize bandwidth from SSDs, VRAM, and DDR for multiple tasks at the same time. So basically, some form of caching system involving your RAM, your VRAM, and your SSD.
Okay.
Which is pretty interesting, and could also improve VRAM usage. And then there's DLSS 3.0, which is supposed to be a more real feature than 2.0, as they put it in this, whatever the hell this slide is. Where basically it should be enabled in way more games by default, and it should be way better than DLSS 2.0, and should just work way more commonly and be more common, etc., etc.
That's what I heard.
So
is
pretty interesting things.
That was one thing I heard, is that in theory in the future DSS, whatever it's called, DLSS, that's it, yeah.
That's the one.
Will basically just be enabled in all future games that have anti-aliasing or whatever, like whatever it's called.
Yeah, theoretically, that's the idea, I believe.
Yeah, so hopefully this may be a step towards that. Though I would love to have a graphics, like, I'm a huge AMD fan. It's great to have AMD because they're great for performance, money compared to performance, price you pay, but you can't beat something like a 2080 or 2070 because it is just the top of the top when it comes to performance. And it just has so many more useful things. Like, I would love to stream on NVENC because it lowers your lowers the amount you use while streaming. So you get higher performance in games, and I much prefer, though AMD's programs aren't too bad, I much prefer GeForce and all that.
I think they're both shit, but
Yeah, they're both shit, but like AMD's one is just not that. It's much nicer looking. It's just not that good. You have an AMD CPU and NVIDIA
I haven't
GPU?
used AMD GPUs.
I have, just because of the money. Though I would love to go into a 30 series in the near
I
future.
definitely
So.
think that on the CPU end of things, Intel is basically just a waste of my fucking money at this point.
Oh, it is.
Like, sure, I can get a marginal increase in single-threaded performance, but like, I like nothing I fucking do is single-threaded, so who cares?
Yeah.
AMD are really winning the CPU market in my book.
NVIDIA always.
Pro is going to be interesting for the server side of things and that, because that'll be taking a good bit of a, you know, it covers more market area that Epic didn't cover, so that'll be pretty nice.
I would love to upgrade my CPU, but I need a new motherboard, so that'll be my next thing. And if you were in the general, you saw what we were talking about in the general, I'm not going to really do much changes until I can upgrade my CPU. So, you know, that's going to come hopefully in the near future, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm getting more hours at work, but work is not fun, so let's make this my work. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting, and yeah, turns out I need to go at 7:30, so you still have issues driving in the cockpit of American trucks. So interesting.
Yeah, I mean, PC kind of sucks for like edge case issues because
yeah.
the hardware's so varied. When there's like weird edge case bugs, it can be really tough for developers to nail shit down, and then it sucks.
Like I have a top of the range GPU and top of the range AMD GPU, and still I struggle in tons of games. It's a pain in the ass, but something you just have to live with. Still surprised I can run fucking Red Dead at high, a reasonable FPS. That genuinely surprised me. But it's because you got so many different variations, so many different, like, you don't know.
Nah, it's tough for PC. But you know, at least with PC I can play like 90% of things well. Like, sure, there's edge cases like me not even be able to open the Crew 2 without it just hard blue screening my PC, and I literally can never play that game because anytime I open it hard blue screens my PC.
Yes, great fun.
But it's like that's one in like, you know, thousands of games, so it's whatever.
You think it's because how many pixels are going on in the cockpit? That shouldn't be an issue. I wouldn't have thought American Truck Simulator is too different to Euro Truck Simulator. And it depends on what game. It depends on what monitor you have and what resolution you're playing at. If you're playing at 4K, then yeah, I can kind of understand that a Titan V isn't the best gaming GPU. But yeah, again, if you're putting a 1080p, that shouldn't be an issue with a Titan V and an R9 at high settings.
I know there's a lot of just edge case shit that goes on.
Yeah.
Weird issues.
You don't have enough RAM, maybe that can cause issues. I've been having that issue. Also,
yeah, you have.
Virtual RAM is something I only figured out, but I think that's more of an AMD issue that I didn't know about. So yeah.
I mean, like, having a faster CPU is quite beneficial for RAM.
Yeah.
The faster your CPU, the less RAM you need. Not to that effective an amount, but it is true.
But
my RAM usage went down significantly when I upgraded my CPU, but I still need more RAM.
Interesting. Just wanted to say, by the way, Elgato Gaming tweeted a picture of my camera. Haha. Hog indeed. That shows that it's the best webcam around. Anyway. I probably spent.
You want to sponsor it? No.
Yeah, if you want to sponsor me, Sony, I wouldn't mind having some of your 4K cameras for streaming. Anyway, just having those fucking massive TV screens.
A massive cinematography camera.
Oh, that's actually true. I'm going to be saving up for the new Blackmagic camera. It's only 10k. It's going to be my next webcam. So I have probably spent about half the amount on my webcam setup as on my computer. Anyway, I think it's been a short one, but it's been an interesting one. I do apologise about that. So life has been weird this week, and I will try and get back to normal tomorrow.
Yeah.
As mentioned, I will be
Yeah.
doing a. Sorry,
Still feeling
Yeah.
bitch out as well. Shoot my head.
I'm dead somehow. Do appreciate it, both of you coming here an hour earlier. It does really make my
No
day.
problem.
Honestly, thank you very much, Ethan, for being here as well.
Welcome.
I genuinely thought you weren't going to say anything there. Just leave me hanging. And yeah, no, as mentioned, I will do a short stream later. So if any of you want to play a game, do hit me up, and we'll do that for about an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours
Definitely.
maybe. Depends. I don't really know what games to play, honestly. Oh, I appreciate everybody coming in here. Thank you so much for all of your time. Whoever just posted that picture of D&D Dyson shoes, I fucking hate you. And that's so random, don't worry. And yeah, no, thank you so much for watching. Let's keep this dream going, honestly. It's been amazing. I know I've been a bit off for the last few days, but maybe one day we'll take over Shroud, even though he's not on Twitch anymore. No, Dr. Disrespect is never going to be on Twitch, but we know he's somewhat alive.
We know he exists.
Yeah,
still,
we know he exists. It's somewhere in the world. But yeah, no, thank you so much for everybody. Thank you, you guys. And as always, have a good day, good night, good morning, good evening, or good morning. Did I say that one twice? Yeah, I did. And we'll see you in the next stream. Hurrah.
Goodbye.
Hello.
There we go.